Okay, good morning children. Welcome back to social class. It is a very interesting lesson. So standard 9th civics unit 3 human rights. This is a human right. It is basic rights for women. Okay, let us go to the topic. So human rights. So it's a major important one. This one the UDHR. It's a very important one because Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. It is called the UDHR. And another one, it's a fundamental rights. The fundamental rights is called the human rights. And another one, the State Human Rights Commission, and another one, National Human Rights Commission is in setup. It's a two major. It's a personality. Is one is Gandhiji, another one Nelson Mandela. Both are it is well known. Okay, so both Gandhiji and another one Nelson Mandela. So both are the fight for which one? Racial discrimination. Race, that means particular races. This Nelson Mandela, it is a fight for South Africa, and another one it is a Gandhiji. It is one it's a fight for Indians, particularly that is a fight for black and white. It is a fight for black and white. So next, the brief topic about the Gandhiji. It is a very good incident. And that incident about what? It is a human rights. So next, discuss the topic about Gandhiji. So Gandhiji in South Africa. On 7th July 1983, while a person was on his way to Pretoria in South Africa, a white man objected the person presence of a non-white man in a first-class carriage, and the person was ordered to move to a van compartment at the end of the train. The man who had all the first-class ticket refused to leave and was thrown off the train at the Pietermaritzburg. The shivering in the winter night in the waiting room for the station that changed the course of his life. He took up the fight against racial oppression. The spirit of the active non-violence started from that moment. Mahatma Gandhi made the momentous decision to stay in South Africa and fight racial discrimination against the Indians. Out of that struggle emerged is a unique way of protest, non-violent satyagraha. As a human being, Gandhiji had all the rights to travel in the first-class compartment. But he was discriminated because of his skin color. Discrimination is not only based on color, it is on the basis of race, gender, place of birth, caste, religion, and so on. Due to this discrimination, people are prohibited from enjoying their basic human rights. So next, discuss the topic Nelson Mandela. So he is also, it is against for racial discrimination. It's a term apartheid. It's the end of the apartheid. Apartheid, that means racial discrimination. Apartheid was highest the form of discrimination what existed in South Africa. The place of residence were determined by racial classification. It was a governing policy in the country by minority whites over the majority non-whites. The people of South Africa protest against racial discrimination. Nelson Mandela raised his voice against apartheid when he organized the defiant campaigns against the government. He was imprisoned. The growing domestic and international pressure, and with the fear of a racial civil war, the President FWD de Klerk released him 1990. The efforts taken by Nelson Mandela and de Klerk put an to apartheid. In 1994, the multiracial General election was held in which Mandela led the African National Congress to victory and become the president. Okay, next discuss the topic human rights. What are human rights? The UN word defines human rights as the inherent to all human beings regardless of race, gender, nationality, ethnicity, language, religion or any other status. Everyone is entitled to these rights without discrimination. The United Nations organization was formed on 24th October 1945 after the Second World War. It proposed to deal with the consequence of war and to prevent such happening in the future. Because this history of the human rights as a root to all the great events of the World War, it has sustained the struggle for the freedom and equality everywhere. The Universal Declaration of the Human Rights has played a crucial role in promoting the human rights. The Human Rights Day is celebrated every year on 10th December. The 24th October UNO Day. The 24th October is UNO Day. So now let us discuss the topic UDHR, Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. It's a milestone document. For children, it is a milestone document in the history of human rights. It was drafted by representatives of the different legal and cultural backgrounds from all the regions of the world. The declaration of proclaimed was United Nations General Assembly in Paris on the 10th December 1948 as a common standard of achievement of all people and all nations. The first time they sets out the human rights to be universally protected, and the UDHR has been translated to the many languages. There are how many articles? There are 30 articles in the UDHR. There are 30 articles in the UDHR and it guarantees freedom of expression as well as civil, political, social, economic and cultural rights. So, now let us discuss the topic social, economic and cultural rights. The socio-economic and cultural rights are the integral part of the human rights law that was developed due to after the World War II. What's the social right? The social rights are necessary for full participation in the society. Necessary for what? Full participation in the society. Economic condition guarantee every person to have condition under which they are able to meet their needs. So another cultural rights or human rights that aim at assuring the enjoyment what? Culture and these components in condition of equality, human dignity and non-discrimination. Now let us discuss a topic civil and political rights, the another important rights. Cultural and political rights protect an individual freedom from the infringement by the government, social organization and private individuals. The term civil rights refer to the basic rights afforded by laws of government to every person regardless of race, nationality, color, gender, race, religion and etc. Political rights exercised in the formation and administration of the government. They are given to the citizen by law. These rights give power to citizen to participate either directly or indirectly in the discrimination. Okay, let us discuss that topic. What's the name of the lesson? Human rights. That lesson only discuss about the human rights. That major two personality and Gandhiji and Nelson Mandela. It is a fight for national discrimination. What are human rights in And another one, the 10th December in every year celebrated the Human Rights Day. Another one, October 24th, UN Day. So another important one, UDHR, Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. There are the how many articles? There are the 30 articles of the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights, and major civil, economic and cultural rights, and next is civil and political rights. Thank you. We will discuss the next class.